From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 50 days till the kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
Welcome back in for our final interview of the day here at Hot Springs, and we've got Coach Jay Turley and the Murfreesboro Rattlers here. Well, I have to ask, is it? I know y'all. The school's called South Pike County, but do you go by Murfreesboro Rattlers? Or you go by South Pike County?
Murfreesboro.
Okay, I just want to make sure I get that right because I'm gonna tell you sometimes people ready to fight about that. So anyway, glad to have you along here, and we want to say off the top that Murfreesboro has been a great, great supporter of us, and we cannot say thank you enough to them. And we know you weren't there yet, but we're looking forward to going back down there and seeing you guys.
We're looking forward to having you.
Well, that'd be great. We always enjoy. I tell you, I love high school football, but I tell you, there's something about going to that super small town. And I tell you, we were there 2 years ago for the Mineral Springs game. It was freezing cold that night, and we were there to watch one of the best ball games I've seen in a while. At least one of the best endings
Yeah.
that we've seen in a long time. So, anyway, and I'm trying to get this out, and I can't get my internet to work on my phone. Maybe you get that out there on the page? Thank you. So anyway, Coach Turley, glad to have you. This is your second stint at Murfreesboro. So let's talk about it. You were there for 4 years. What brought you back?
Well, Murfreesboro's home to me. My mom, my brother, my sister both graduated there, and both my kids graduated from Murfreesboro. And my mom lives there now, and she's getting a little older, so I thought it was time to move home and be around her and be able to take care of her when she needs it.
Well, there you go. I mean, and spot opened up. Coach Brad Cheshire was there. He did a great job there at Murfreesboro getting things going in the right direction. And now you're going to take it to the next level, right?
Well, that's the plan.
That's the hope, anyway. Well, let's talk about it. What is it that we need to do at Murfreesboro to get there?
Well, I think that we just right now we need to keep learning what we're doing.
Mm,
We we're installing a whole new offense, a whole new defense. So that's been, you know, we didn't get to have spring ball,
yeah.
so it's been kind of on the run this summer, and we're trying to go to some team camps and some 7-on-7s just to learn what we're trying to do, and the kids have bought in, and we're working hard, and I think that if we can just stay injury free, we'll have a chance to be pretty good.
And that's what we expect is to see Murfreesboro being good because, I mean, that's what we've known over the last couple of years, and we are confident that will happen. Tell us what Murfreesboro has coming back, and of course, I know that installing a new offense, a new defense, it makes things as far as returners not as important, but still having that experience on the field does make a difference.
It does. We returned a lot of starters, and they're they're good football players. They work hard, and as long as we can continue to improve and learn, and we'll have a chance to be successful.
Okay. Do you know how many you bring back on each side of the ball?
I think we bring about 5 and 5, something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
All right, so you're bringing 10 back. Um, what do you have coming up as a younger group?
Well, we've got a real small sophomore class. I had a couple kids not come out that should have, but um, I think that we got the 3 or 4 kids that we do have coming up. We're going to help us, and got a kid named Kale Humphrey that's going to play linebacker and running back for us, and Colton Tidwell is good little receiver and defensive back. So we got some kids that are going to help us. Isaac Smith's going to play some linebacker for us. So they're going to contribute and maybe not be starters, but help on special teams and be quality backups.
What is it about you that the kids need to get used to that's different than what Coach Cheshire did?
Probably just the old schoolness.
Yeah.
Coach Cheshire was a great coach. I've known Coach Cheshire since he was a kid.
Hmm.
I grew. We're both from Nashville, so I've known his parents and him for as long as I can remember. But um, you know, Coach Cheshire was a defensive-minded coach, and I'm an offensive-minded coach. So I think that's one of the big differences. And just the old school approach to coaching football.
Yeah.
Work hard, and I'm not saying they didn't because they did, but just a little tougher atmosphere and just we got an old staff.
Yeah.
Our staff's the youngest guy on our staff's 37, so
Right.
just a bunch of old guys coaching football, old
That,
school
that's
way.
that's ancient
It
anymore, right?
is. It sure is.
Um, yeah, I like. I mean, I feel like the old school approach is still effective, though.
Oh, I
It.
think most definitely.
Yeah.
Kids need to learn how to work. It's going to help them in life, and if you can put them through tough situations on the football field, it just teaches them life lessons.
So you're more of an offensive minded coach. What should people expect at Murfreesboro when they watch them play? We know, for the last few years it's been all ground and pound.
Yeah.
I mean, under center, inverted wing, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. What is it going to be like with you?
Well, I'm a spread guy. We're going to use a tight end probably, and I'm 50-50 pass run, probably more heavy run than I am pass, which is we just like to spread the field to get people in space and try to get our athletes to football.
That makes sense. What about defensively? What are they looking at
Well,
defensively?
we've our offense coordinator became our defense coordinator, so he's Coach Ray. He's
Yeah,
40 years coaching, so uh, it's just we're going to use probably more of a technique approach
yeah,
than a rush up the field and play some technique and just change some things. Not a whole lot, just the way that we do things.
yeah. Now, I know you brought these three here, but let's talk about maybe some of them that you didn't bring. I know you're still trying to get to know some of these kids and understand what they do, but what are you seeing right now in your workouts?
Oh, they've bought in from day one.
Yeah,
Brad did a great job of changing the culture. So I walked into a good situation of kids that knew how to work. Um, I feel like that we've probably pushed them maybe even a little harder,
hmm
and they like working out. They like the conditioning. So I think that you know we've got to get them back in shape after our 2 week dead period.
Yeah, they're
Well,
making
yeah,
faces over there, by
yes,
the
I know.
way. The liking conditioning, I don't know.
Yeah.
They doesn't seem to be too convinced over
Well, they
there.
may not like it, but they've bought in and they're working hard.
They know it's
They
necessary.
do.
They
We
know.
talked about it on the way up, actually.
Yeah. Well, you got a chance to talk to him. You get a chance to talk to him on the way back. You
Yeah.
got a chance to employ and put things in
Yeah.
for them. Um, you got any specific kids that are doing good things? I know you got these three here, but mamas and daddies like to hear their
Well,
kids' name
sure. I
called.
mean, I all our kids are doing well. We got a new quarterback, Cooper Caldwell, and he's more of a pocket passer than we've had, and he throws the ball really well. Bubba Stinson's going to be our running back, and he played a lot last year. Played linebacker for him, and he's real shifty, hard to tackle. Got really good speed. Alex Parker's another kid we got that's got really good speed. That's kind of a shifty guy, small but shifty. Isaac Kirkendall is one of our receivers. Catches the ball really well. Runs really good routes. Um, and then in our offensive line, most of our offensive line's back. So you know, uh, J.P. Jackson and Mason Wilkins is our left guard, and of course Hawkins is our center, and Logan's our right guard, and then Cole McKnight our right tackle, and basically all those guys played last year, and then we moved our starting left guard from last year to tight end because I just liked what I saw with his athleticism, and he's a really good blocker. Not so great catcher right now, but we're working on it, and he's not so sure about running routes. So we've done some max protect in team camps, and
Yeah,
it's really helped us, protect the quarterback and be able to drop back and throw passes.
sure. All right. Well, we got these three here, so why don't you introduce the first two that are going to come to us?
Okay. Well, the first one's Logan Burris. He's our starting right guard and our defensive end. I think he was all conference last year, and Kel Burns is our starting corner and starting what I call my C back, which is my utility slot receiver. We'll move him all over the field and try to get him the ball. He's got good speed and kind of a home run threat, and then I guess we'll let Hawkins talk. And Hawkins is a 3-year starter. Will be a 3-year starter at center, and
Yeah,
so far, I don't know if he's had a bad snap all summer.
that's
So
great.
yeah, it's been really good, and he's a really good defensive tackle. Hopefully, we got some guys step up and to give him a break on defense so that we can focus more on offense. But he is going to play a lot of defense for us, especially in crunch situations.
All right. Well, let's bring him in.
All right.
You guys come on in. Just the first two. You're going to come in by yourself. Just make sure you sit over there so we don't look like we're on a date. Okay. We want to thank Cornerstone Roofing and Construction. Give Alton Irwin a call at 870 215 3548. We also want to say thanks to Harps for coming in and being a regional sponsor today for the Hot Springs area. And so, guys, appreciate you guys coming on. We have enjoyed our time going to Murfreesboro. Man, I tell you what, your community supports you guys so well. Uh, of course, this was 2 years ago. I actually didn't come last year. I came the year before. We sent a crew to you last year. Let's see, who did they play? Am I asking the wrong person? Yeah, I am. Um, gosh, let me think here. Let me get that down just a little bit for you. Um, it was a playoff game. I was Mount Ida. You probably don't want to talk about that one too much. Anyway, but we were there for that one. But you guys, y'all just been so awesome to us. So we can't say thank you enough for that. And I moved his down. I'm gonna have to move yours toward your mouth there. That'll help. I promise you, it makes a difference. So anyway, tell us a little bit about the differences that you're seeing from Coach Turley now from what Coach Cheshire was.
Well, I think that, our coaching staff now and Coach Charlie especially is just, like he said, a lot tougher on us and just pushes us a lot harder. And Coach Cheshire was a big defensive guy, and he didn't know the most about offense, but now we're just, in my opinion, just being pushed completely harder.
Different. It's different, right? What about you? What are you thinking?
And I think we're obviously in a brand new scheme this year, but I think it fits us a lot better than what we've done in the
Yeah.
past. I'm just really excited to.
Well, let's talk about that. That scheme is that y'all going to throw the ball a little bit. I
Yeah.
mean, I know that we did 2 games with you 2 years ago and one or two last year. We might have seen three passes the whole time. In fact, I mean, one of them won the game, and I think it's because Mineral Springs was just not expecting it, even though it was fourth down from the 10-yard line in overtime. I think they thought you was going to run anyway. So, tell us about that change in scheme and the thought of maybe a little bit more balance throwing the football.
Yeah, I think it has a lot more opportunity to be explosive and just spread the ball around. And, you know, the defense not going to be able to say, well, we're just going to run it every time.
Right. What do you think?
I think the very similar to him is we're going to catch a lot of teams off guard because they're not going to know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And we have the depth, we have the guys that can run it, and then we have the receivers who can catch and an amazing quarterback who can throw it.
Amazing quarterback. I like that. I like that. That's good though. If you're able to throw the ball, especially in year one, when you don't necessarily have the training. Year two, year three, Coach Turley knows exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. A lot of times, year one it's a little bit of an adjustment period, but by year two, you've got a guy that he can really sling it. So if you've got a guy now that can do that, that's really good. Let's talk about it. I know that you we're talking about offense, but you guys have been predicated on that stingy defense. And what do you think about what the defense is going to look like this year?
I think that we're going to be a lot tougher just because of, Coach Ray, and he's making his switch to defensive coordinator. And I mean, he's amazing on both sides of the ball. And we have a lot of D line starters coming back, and I think we're going to be tough. And we're running the split, and I think it's gonna look great.
Yeah, I think it's kind of similar to what we did last year, but things I've noticed so far is we're a lot more disciplined this year on defense.
How many seniors do you have? Do you know?
I don't know.
I should ask Coach Turley that. How many? 8 or 9? It's a decent number. Decent number of seniors, especially at a 2A school. That's great, man. Um, well, we expect good things out of y'all. We've seen y'all over the last 2 years. We feel good about Coach Turley as well and what he can do there. So I don't think y'all gonna miss too much of a beat. Now, I will say that I bet Junction City probably wants a little revenge for knocking them out of that conference championship last year.
They can come get it.
Oh, okay, okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get your friend in here in just a minute. I want to know what will it be? How will you get to the point where you can say it will be a successful season at Murfreesboro when you look back at the end of the year?
Well, I think just everybody has to buy in, and when we hit those bumps in the road, we still got to believe that we can win. And we have the talent. It's just about what we believe in.
I agree with him. I mean, just got to outwork everybody.
Okay. All right. Let's bring you in, Mr. Center. You're gonna come in here and talk with me just a little bit. There you go. Look, you got a future in this already, man.
Maybe.
Maybe. Are you a talker?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we've been about 50-50 on this. When we say, hey, you got to leave, the talker's got to be the one that goes last. 50-50. They come in and just don't be scared. You're talking to
Mhm.
me. You're not talking to nobody else. So anyway, I'll tell you high praise from Coach Turley already from the fact that he said, hey, you've been snapping the ball all year long. Hadn't seen a bad snap. I mean, you're coming out into a different system. You're shotgun snapping. I mean, it's different than it was. So tell us a little bit about how you've been able to adjust.
Well, when we ran our offense last year, we were predominantly under center,
Yeah.
but we did a little bit of shotgun. But before that, we were also shotgun, so it just kind of came naturally.
Right. Right. Okay. So you did have a little shotgun in there before Coach Cheshire got there. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you snapped it in the younger grades shotgun. All right, that makes sense. Man, I could tell you that that's such an important part of the game that nobody really well, they take it for granted that, you got to have a good snap to start the play. If you don't have a good snap, then you're pretty much done, for the most part. You're a 3-year starter will be when you take that first snap of the season here. And tell me what you're seeing across the offensive line.
Well, I think we still have room for improvement, but it's probably one of the better offensive lines we've had, I think. We work together well, we do everything together well, and we're good at communicating with each other.
I mean, it's very important. The offensive line, you got to be able to communicate. You got to know what's going on behind you, but you also got to know what's going on in front of you too, right? And I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
those fronts that you're seeing, odds and evens, and different things of that nature, you got to know. Well, if they're lined up like this, I got to block this. But you being a starter and seeing those things probably has to help some, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, the experience that you have, it's got to help some. Tell me what you're seeing against the defense. Again, like I told or talked to those guys, uh, the defense has been what you hung your hat on now for the last 2 years. So, what is it? You don't want that part to change that much. You want to be a stingy defense. You want run a wide open offense. You're probably going to give up a little bit more because of that, but you still got to be able to play defense. So, what are you seeing on that side of the ball?
Well, I think our defense last year, our interior defensive linemen weren't the best, and you kind of need that. So, I mean, this year we're working towards a different defense. We're not pushing as much upfield. We're kind of waiting and watching to
Okay.
go with the ball. But our linebackers are really good. All of our secondary is good. And I
Okay.
think our defense will still be good.
And Well, we've already got it out there, but like I said, Junction City, they're going to want to come back get the y'all ripped their hearts out last year
Hmm.
when y'all went down there and won that ball game and really got everybody's attention again. Hey, Murfreesboro's for real again this year. I feel like last year y'all started off a little slow, but as the year went on, it was kind of like a snowball, just snowball effect. And before you know it, you're back-to-back conference champions. And the thing about that is that 2 years in a row, y'all kind of slipped up on people.
Yeah, we did, but it, we didn't adjust well to what we played with,
Yeah.
and we could do a better job at that.
Okay.
And I don't think we played as hard as we could. And then injuries kind of bumped along the road a little bit, and that
Yeah.
didn't help a lot.
Right.
So,
Well, you guys probably didn't go as far as you'd like to. I know the last two seasons, I know those expectations started going up and up and up as you won each game. I know the excitement was there. So, what do you do this year to kind of get over that hump?
well, I think the last 2 years we've underestimated who we were playing,
Yeah.
and we haven't really played to our full ability, and we got let our heads get too big, and
Okay.
we need to be more calm and just play like we play, tough and gritty. Just do what we do.
I really thought 2 years ago y'all might play for it all. And I know that Mark Tree game was hurtful, but that was 2 years ago. That's the past now. So let me ask you this: what will it be for you when you get to the end of this year? You're a senior. You look back. What's it going to be for you guys to have a successful season at Murfreesboro?
Well, I want to win a state championship,
There you go.
but you can't start the season wanting to win that because you're going to get your head too big. I mean, you got to just look at the next game one at a time.
One at a time. One at a time, with the goal being off in the distance. You know it's there. You know you got to go from one to the next to the next to the next. And if you win every one of them, guess what? By the end of it, you're the state champion. So, yeah, yeah, there's something to that. I believe that you guys got the pedigree to be up there at the top. We've talked to a lot of teams, especially in 2A, feel like they've got a chance to do something good. Mount Ida being one of those teams. Of course, I know that's a natural rivalry. Y'all are not in the conference,
No,
but y'all found a way to play each other in the playoffs. What would it mean to get a chance at them again?
well, I'm not going to lose to them again. We played our sophomore year and won 8-6, which wasn't really. A win's a win, but it's not what you want.
Right.
And then last year we just didn't adjust well, and we just got killed. And
That boy, they were playing well at the end of the year. I'll tell you, they were playing well. Woodfield was running well that end of the year. They got hot at the end of the year
mm,
playing well, and Coach White does a really good job down there at what he does. In fact, were they the last ones that we just talked to, Carson? Mount Ida. Yeah, they were the last ones that we talked to, and so they've got some good. They do a good job in the weight room. They do a good job in the off season. I enjoy the thought of Murfreesboro and Mount Ida matchup. That'd be a good one to see. Maybe we'll get a chance to see it this year.
well, we got Mark Tree the first year and they beat us. Then we got
Yeah.
Mark Tree again and we beat them. So
Okay. Okay. Well, you got a precedent there, and you guys got a little bit of a different offense, a little bit of a different defense. So we're going to be interested to see what happens at Murfreesboro. And so, anyway, well, man, appreciate you.
yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming in. We're looking forward to seeing what the Murfreesboro Rattlers will do this year under Coach Jay Turley in year number one. It's going to be fun. Hopefully, we get a chance to go down to Murfreesboro and do a game or two before it's all said and done. And we want to say thank you for joining us once again here on the Hometown Sports Volume 2 preseason football preview right here on the Arkansas Sports Network. We also want to say thank you to our sponsors, Cornerstone Roofing and Construction. Make sure you touch base with Alton Irwin at 870-215-3548. And then also we want to say thank you to Harps Foods. They have been a great contributor to us over the last few months of time. And so, anyway, we want to say thank you to them. And so, thank you to Coach Turley. Thank you to the Rattlers for coming in. Thank you to all those teams that came in down here at Hot Springs. We've got one more day left of running all over all over the state of Arkansas. I get these guys to follow me. I don't know how I do it, to be honest with you. But we're going to be at Clinton tomorrow, and we're going to see some more coaches and talk some more football. And you don't want to miss that. So make sure that you're tuned in to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube, and we'll be bringing that back to Facebook as well. So I'm going to say so long. So for myself and for Carson Ward, Aaron Powers over here, punching the buttons. We say thank you. And we've been live right here from Hot Springs, the Hot Springs Convention Center. We'll see you tomorrow live from Clinton.